Hello, good morning everyone. Thank you for coming back to join me today. Still continuing with my botanical theme journals that I'm using Roxy Creations papers for. When I left you last time, I'd been working in this one. So the time before, sorry, I'd worked in that one. So I don't think I've done any more in that one at the moment. I kind of flip between the two, but I have done a bit of work in this one. So let me just lift you up a little bit. Yeah, so I thought I'd show you where I'd got to. So we made this, or I started to make this last time. I think I might need to put it under a book just to flatten those pages. They do stay flat. This was the doorway that I made last time, if you remember. We move things out the way. So this was the door that opens up, and it's got the garden through there. And I put the little grommets through there and just opened them up so that made like doorknobs. And then I've just put a little and it's number 98171, so it's a long street, that one. So that's how that looks. And then obviously this closure goes round and wraps around there to keep it closed. But then what I've done is I've added it onto an A4 piece of card that I've folded over, and I've just made it into a little storage place. So there's a pocket there at the front, so there's lots of things that you could put in there. I was gifted these paper bags recently, thank you Brenda, and so I've put 4 paper bags in there, and I've just put little things in there that I've had laying around on my desk that I thought might be useful to decorate the journal further. And obviously the lady that's having this, or whoever's having this, can put things in there that they want to use in their journal. So it's just little pockets in there. And then in the back there's another double pocket. So I've just put a couple of journaling cards in there, in that pocket, and another one at the back that you could decorate further if you wanted to. So that's what I ended up doing with that. So I made it into like a little, I guess it's an ephemera booklet. And then obviously that just wraps round there and round there and closes it. And my thought was it could either go there in the front pocket there of that journal, and just to keep your bits and pieces in. Don't forget there's a pocket on the back on this one, so it could slip in there if you wanted it to, or it would also fit in one of the pockets if you wanted it to. I'm just conscious that I don't want to bend those doors. So lots of places that can go. So I'll make one of those to go in the other journal as well. So that's where I've got to with that. I'll just move that out the way. So I'm getting there. I started then working on this one, and I think, as you can see, it's really filled out. It's almost at capacity, I think, which isn't too bad because I think I'm almost there. There's a thread there. I'll cut that later. Couldn't see my scissors. Let me just snip that thread off while I see it. There we go. So I did a bit of extra work on this one. So I've made the envelope flip at the front now, same as the one in the other one. So that again flips out. It's got a journaling card in there. I need to find one to go in just there, a little journaling card of some sort to go in there. Not looked for that yet. And then again that opens up there and flips out there. So I didn't want to cover the beautiful paper. So that's done. What else did I do? I think then on the back page I carried on and put this in. So there's a journaling card in there, a card in there, a card in there, and then you can write on those 2 pages as well. And I liked the red against the red, so that's why I chose that one. I've put that on there. I've got one on the other side as well, so I've got one of those on both sides, just a little bit of decoration. I put that pocket on, and that's got a journaling card in there. And then we did this flip. So that flipped out and then flipped out again, and it had the journaling card in there with the little butterfly peeking out and the owls. I think the owl wants to eat the butterfly. And I decorated the 2 postcards that go in there that can be journaled on. So, and again, the other journal will have something similar. What else did I do? I put that on there, and that needs a journaling card. I then put this envelope on the back there with a journaling card in there and a journaling card in there. I put a tab on there. I've put an envelope on there, and there's an envelope on that one. So I've been quite busy. I have been busy. I decorated that flap, put that pocket in there with a journaling card, and I put that journaling card in there. That just fits into that pocket so you can see the bird through. And then on the other page, so again, if I put one at the front, I like to put one in the back if I can. I put another journaling card. That's one of Rachel's papers, and I've just added the butterfly on there. And so I'm up to this bit now, and I'm nearly there, because I put that, we'd done that earlier. I think I'm going to put that pocket on there. What did I do on the back of that? Oh, I put some paper on there that can be journaled on. We'd already got that on there. I'm not covering that up because it's such beautiful paper. I clipped that in there. And then I've just got that to decorate. So this one is almost done, folks. So what I wanted to do on here, let me just put that out the way. I'm building a pile of journals. Let's hope it doesn't collapse. So I decorated that flap, and I wanted to put the 3 cards on there. The 3. So it's a kind of a waterfall, but not a waterfall like the other one that I did. So I've just backed these on some of Rachel's papers. So I'm going to cut those out. So I hope you're all okay. It's actually Saturday morning here in the UK. But I'm not going to put this out on the Saturday because I've done 2 videos. I did one yesterday, Friday, that you'll see on Sunday. And then this one will go out one day next week. So trying to spread them out. And then this will probably be the last video that I do on these journals. And then it'll just be the flip through. And then I'll move on to something else. I think I need to have a really good sort out in my room actually before I do anything next. So paper. I'm leaving an edge at the top because I need to attach these to the page. I'm going to cut these out separately. I'm thinking they're the same size, but it looks like that one might be a little bit bigger. So cut that one out. So I've got different colour. Don't cut that top bit, Carol. Whatever you do, you need that. Don't cut it and leave. You're leaving about 1/2 inch at the top of these so that they can be tags, or so that they can flip up. And I think I've stuck them down really well, so I don't think I need to stitch round them. But we'll have a look. So the way that I do this, I fold them forwards for the first little bit, so that I can see where I'm creasing it, and then I just fold them to the back. So I want those tabs at the back. And I'm just going to have a quick scout round. But I think they are quite well stuck on. I did try hard to get the glue everywhere. It's the corners, isn't it, where sometimes they lift. I just want to get rid of that little white edge that's at the top there. And then these are curled slightly because when you glue on one side, it makes the paper want to curl up, doesn't it? But once they're laid in the journal, they'll start and lay flat again. So I'm not worried about that. And then I want these to be on this page. So I've got my fold line down there. I wanted that bird to be on the top. I want that one to be underneath the bird, and then I wanted this one to be at the bottom, and I would like that bird to be peeping out. So all that I'm going to do is, I've got this flap now, and that's the flap that I'll glue down. So I'm just going to put glue on those and get them stuck in. I'm going to use the other glue because that one is quite unforgiving. When you're trying to put something where you actually want it to be, the fast tack glue is like the art glitter glue. Once you've put it down, it's not moving anywhere. Whereas this glue, which is called collal, I've got a little bit of time to move things if it's not quite where I want it to be. So this is a little bit like the Fabri-Tac glue. So I don't want it all the way at the top, and I don't want it all the way at the edge. So that's going to go on there, and then it flips up quite nicely. Then I want this one to be next. I'll put the glue on, and then I'll decide where I want it. Sorry, concentrating gluing. I want that one to be at the bottom. I would like the little bird to be seen, and I want it to be kind of in line with that. So that's not bad. It's not a bad placement. Move it over slightly. I think that's about right. Happy with that. That's my second one down. And then third. I do sometimes have difficulty sticking things straight. I have an issue with my eyes at the moment, so which I'm having some treatment for. So hopefully I'll start sticking things a bit straighter once that medication's got underway. One can hope, anyone can't we? And then that I want to put on there, about there. There we go. This glue does dry quite quickly. I say it is a bit like the Fabri-Tac. So I don't know if you can see there. So we've got the three. So you can write on each of these. And if you wanted to put something on here as well, you could do. And I don't know whether to put little tabs on them or not. I was just thinking actually whether I could use these tickets. 1, 2, 3. I might do that. That would be okay, wouldn't it? Different colours, maybe. Let's have a look. Quite like that. I do like using tickets on things, and you know, when you've cut them, you've still got bits that you can use when you're collaging, so I never get rid of the bits that I've cut off. So that would be 1, 2, and then we'd want one down at the bottom there. Maybe a colour. Maybe a pink one. Quite like that one. Let's just cut that out. Just get rid of that little white bit. I'm just thinking it's a bit narrower there, isn't it? I don't mind it hanging off the bottom a little bit. Yeah, so I think I'm going to glue those on and have those as tags. That was a quick decision, wasn't it? I think my glue needs filling up. And it's just started raining outside, so we've got the end of Storm Eunice, and I think she was quite destructive, especially in the west of the country, so Wales and Cornwall. So I don't know how Andrea, Artie May's fared, because she lives down in Cornwall. But I think by the sea it's often worse, isn't it, when you get high winds. But we've lost fences, so that's not too bad. We've got a fence to replace. But I know trees have been blown down and people are without power in some places. So that's not good, is it? My mum, I've been to see my mum this morning, and she actually had a text message yesterday. I mean, she's 85, bless her. She had a text message to say that if she lost her power, this was the number to ring and they would sort it out for her. So she just wanted to check with me that it wasn't a scam, and it was, if she needed to ring the number, she could. Because we do try and instill in her that, you know, not all texts and phone calls are legitimate. It's quite hard when you get older, I think, to believe that people want to do something wrong. So there we go. We've got 3 flips. 1, 2, 3. So that's just some extra journaling space there. And it goes back into the journal. So you can see it's getting quite bulky. That's upside down. I might snip the corners of those, but it will lay flat. It will lay flat as I go through it. Now this one, I've put that on there to remind myself I wanted to do another one of these flips on here. So I'm going to have a look and see what papers I've got that could go on there. Sorry, I went quiet then because I was just thinking, let me just get some papers. Okay, I just had a bit of a panic actually, because when I was looking at it, I noticed that that paper was upside down, and I thought, well, that's okay, because it was one of Rachel's collage papers, which are all upside down and round and about. But then I've got it all upside down, and then I thought, you silly moo, you've put the paper in upside down. What a nana. So that actually goes that way in the back of the book. So it's that one that I'm doing in the front of the book. Do you know, you couldn't make it up sometimes, could you? I think that's the trouble sometimes when you're making things and you're taking things in and out. You often do end up putting things in upside down and back to front. So I'm thinking that I might like to use this piece of paper, which I think is actually what's the front of, yeah, this is on the front of this journal. But I don't think it's going to matter, because this is going, it's going to be over 2 pages is what I'm trying to say. Let's just try for size and see where we are. It's quite big, but that's okay. So the way somebody had asked me how I made these flips over the page, and it isn't difficult, but I do get myself a little bit confused. You want to fold it on a twist, and it doesn't matter if the big piece is at the top or the bottom. It's just personal choice, and sometimes it's the way that you fold the paper, but you have to fold the one that you're putting on top the opposite way. Let me try and explain. So if I fold that way, that will go over there like so. So you get that part on that page, and you get that part on that page. So when you put the next piece on top, which you don't want to be as big, let me just try a piece of this. I don't think this is going to be long enough, and I don't think I've got another one. I think this was one of Rachel's freebies actually. So you want the short bit at the top and the long bit at the bottom. So that is going to go that way. It fraggles me a little bit when I'm doing it. Oh, that doesn't look bad actually, does it? Quite like that. And it's a good way to use your scraps of paper. So it's just two, I didn't look how wide I'd cut them. So that one's about 2¼ inches. And that one, oh, it's actually about the same. So they're both about 2¼ inches. But I just tear off a piece that I think might look nice. On there, that on there. So that's quite nice. And then for this journal, I'd used a doily over it. The other one I've done the same, but no doily, if you remember. Yeah, so I like that. So I'm just going to paper clip that on there, and I'll take it to my sewing machine. And all that I do is zigzag down there. Okay, so I'll be 1 minute. Okay, so I've just done zigzag all the way down there. And what I would normally do then is just, you can use this as a tuck spot if you want to, or you can just leave it as page decoration. And all that I've done on them so far is add a little bit of sticky glue, if it's going to work, underneath that top flap. Not on that bit, Carol. Just where it sits on there, just to kind of glue that down. Or not. I do need to fill this glue up again. I'm not very good at filling the glue up. I'll have to get hubby to do it for me. It doesn't always want to, because it's a narrow fine tube. This glue's quite thick and it gloops up on me. It doesn't want to go in. So all that I've done there is glue that onto the papers. I haven't glued it to the page. You could glue it on the page and then it just makes it a page decoration. But I like to leave that to the person that's getting it to decide whether they want to glue it down completely or not. So all as I'm doing is just gluing it on there, just so it makes it a little bit more sturdy. There we go, glued and sorted. Okay, and that goes there, doesn't it? So it just decorates the page a bit. It doesn't add an awful lot of bulk onto it. So that's those 2 pages done. I don't want to add anything on there, and that's got that on. I don't think I want to put anything on this page. I've put a book on that one though. And we've got those. I might decorate with a strip of paper down here. I'm undecided at the moment. Because I've done that book pocket back here somewhere, that one, I'm going to put a bag on that one. So I was thinking I would just put a little bit of decoration on this bag. Not a lot, just a brown paper bag. But I thought upside down isn't good, Carol, come on. I thought maybe just a little bit of decoration, and then there's room still if somebody wants to put their own something on there as well. So let's do that. Let's decorate the bag slightly. I do love these paper bags. I think this is the last one that I had now, and this bag actually was from my good friend Laura Bain, the Papered Soul, and I heard last week that she'd actually passed away, which I'm absolutely, well, yeah, sorry. So anyway, yeah, my good friend Laura gave me, sent me a little parcel last year with bits and pieces in for me to use. We did a few swaps together and spoke frequently, and I miss her, and I will miss her. She was a good friend. It's funny to have a good friend that you've never seen. Well, we did see each other because we used to speak on Messenger and ring each other. Sorry. So anyway, yeah. So that's one of my friend Laura's bags. Sorry, folks. So decorating the bag. Get back to it. And that's going to go there. I'm not going to use it as a tuck anywhere. It's going to have a journaling card in it. but I'm not going to use it as a tuck. You could have a tuck spot there, or you could have an extra tuck up there, couldn't you? But I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to stick it in at the minute because that's a bit sticky and I don't want the page to shut. So I'm going to put a paper clip there to remind myself that's where that bag goes. And I'm going to leave that bag to dry and I'll stick it in a little bit. That's stuck on there and we've got that on there. I don't want to put anything on that. I just love it. I don't want to put anything on that one either. Right, we've got the envelope. So I don't think I'm going to have, well, it depends if you mind me being with you more than half an hour. Let me just move that out the way. But I can certainly make a start on decorating this envelope. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use this paper. Let me just double check if I've used this paper in this. Hi, sorry folks, no, I just wanted to double check if I had used this paper on this journal at all, and it doesn't look as if I have, because obviously I don't want to decorate a page with it if I've actually already used it somewhere in the journal. So I just had a quick scan through and I couldn't see it. Doesn't mean I haven't, so who knows? Who knows? Not me. Okay, just get rid of those edges. So I want a piece to go down here. So obviously with this envelope, I folded it inside out. It was that way, but I folded it like that because I wanted the window to be at the bottom. So that needs to be to about 2 3/4. And what I want to kind of do, I don't think I'll manage this, folks. 4 1/4, 2 3/4. Right, let me just have a think. Okay, so what I was trying to think was whether I could cut this to fit there. Be good if that little white bit wasn't there, wouldn't it? And I don't mind that you can still see a bit of the envelope because I think it blends in quite well. That edge just isn't straight though. I tell you, I couldn't cut a straight line at the moment. I don't know what it is. Who knows? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on there. I might need to put something across the bottom there because that's a bit short. Only a little bit short. So I might put something on there, but I'm going to stick that on there. And I have a sticky glue book. Let's get the glue. We'll just do it. We're going to go for it, folks. So when I'm covering these envelopes, sometimes I tear the papers, sometimes I cut them straight. If there's a piece of a kit page that I particularly want to get on, then I will cut it like I have done this one. And I'm just going to put a little bit of the stronger glue on that plastic that goes around the window, because sometimes my glue stick doesn't like, or I worry, I should say, that my glue stick won't want to stick it. And I just want to look over and see that I'm getting that roughly in the right spot. So they don't fit perfectly when I do these, but I think it's so busy, you know, you've got lots of papers on here, I don't think it really matters. And I'm not going to worry that it doesn't fit at the bottom. I'll worry about that when I've done. And I always stitch around these as well. So obviously that's going to need something, that's going in the back of there, isn't it? Obviously needs something there at the top. And I think I might use a bit of that on there. So that's 1 over 1 3/4. Not 1 3/4. Come on, Carol, you can't even measure. 1 less than 7/8 then, isn't it? 7/8, Carol, that matches quite well. Let's have a look what that looks like on there. I'm going to put that there. It's a case of filling in the gaps, isn't it, when you're doing these? A little bit of mix and match and fill in the gaps. A little bit of glue on there, and that's going to go on there. If it hangs slightly over this edge of the envelope, it doesn't matter because I can trim it off. What I don't like to see is when you open it and you've got bits overhanging on the inside. That's when I think it looks a bit messy, but that works okay. That would work over there. So it's more than 1/2 inch. So if I do that 3/4 inch, or a bit more. That would fit, wouldn't it? And I'll just cut off the extra. So I hope this makes sense to everybody what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I want to cover, sorry, am I going off screen? It's because I can't quite see what I'm doing. So you see I've got some trimming off to do. Don't worry about it. I know you're not, but I'm not going to either. Get rid of that. So that's all covered. I just need a bit to go across the bottom now. I think that bit there might look quite nice. Oops. Don't pick it up by the blade. That's never a good idea, is it? That can go there, and that's going to go there to the end. And again, I'll trim that off. Oops, it wants to go further up, and I need to add a bit of glue, don't I? It's stuck on my finger. Let's just get that glue on there. There we go, that's glued on there as well. Okay, so I'm just going to let that glue dry, and then I will trim it all off, and then I'll move on to the inside. Okay, so I've kept you over half an hour, which I try not to do. So I'm going to carry on and collage on these pages. That's going to sit in there. Obviously that bit will get cut off, and then I'll find a paper that will go on the back as well. And then I think that's the last thing that I've got to do for this actual journal, and then I'll move on to the next one. So I'm thinking probably that the next video that you see from me will probably be a flip through of these two journals. So I hope you've enjoyed what I've been doing. You can see it is quite a chunky monkey. My journals do tend to be. Oh, I've got that in the middle. That's going to be an envelope or a flip out. I'm not sure yet what that's going to be, but I've got that in there. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. I've got one in the other one as well. I might put some extra journaling space in there and a couple of pockets. Who knows? Unknown, undecided. So, excuse me. I'll love you and leave you, and I hope you like what you've seen. If there's anything that you've seen in the journal that I've not kind of made with you and you'd like to see how I do it, then please let me know. But I do appreciate your company. Take care, everybody. Bye.